This cookie is like magic. So say you want a gluten-free cookie, you don't have any special ingredients on hand, you don't have the time. This uses no gluten-free flour, just oats. You don't have to chill it, just mix, drop, and bake. It's that simple, but it still has that old-fashioned chewy taste. Let's make them together. The first thing I always do is make my own oat flour. I have gluten-free rolled oats. They take like less than a minute in a blender. So I have 2.5 cups of rolled oats, which is 250 grams. I'm just gonna pour that in the blender and process it for about a minute. Now here's the thing, I have a Vitamix which does a great job of this. It gets it really finely ground. You can also do it in a food processor, but it won't get as ground. You'll still have a great tasting cookie, but the texture will be a little bit more coarse, I guess you would say, like a little more rustic. It won't be as smooth of a consistency as with the Vitamix or a high-powered blender. Your other option is to just use store-bought oat flour. If you do store-bought oat flour, I highly recommend you weigh it and make sure you have the 250 grams, because how you put that into the measuring cup can vary drastically if you do it very compressed versus just spooning it in. To make our cookies, we need 1 stick of softened butter, which is 113 grams. Then I have a 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, which is 117 grams, and then a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, which is 100 grams. Now, your sugar you can adjust. So if you want to do less sugar, you can cut back on that. If you'd like to do a coconut sugar, or I've even had readers write in and said they use pure maple syrup too, but I would cut back on the amount. It's really versatile. You could use whatever you'd like for the sugar. So combine that on medium speed until it's nice and smooth. And then we're gonna add 1 large egg and a teaspoon of vanilla, and then just combine that again until it's nice and smooth. Okay, last we just add our dry ingredients, which is our oat flour we already mixed up. And then I have 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and then just mix that to combine. Last part, best part, chocolate chips. So I have 1 1/4 cups of chocolate chips, which is 144 grams, but I like to do a mixture of regular chocolate chips and then mini chocolate chips, because then you just get gooiness everywhere. Every bite is filled with chocolate. And then just stir that to combine. Big fan of cookie scoops. It makes it so much easier. I have a medium cookie scoop here, which is about 1.5 tablespoons, and just place them about 1.5 inches apart on your baking sheet. The other thing that you could do, I like to do this with all my homemade cookies, is once the dough is dropped out, you can form it into like almost like a weeble wobble shape, like a tall cylinder, because then when it bakes down, it will bake down kind of in more of like a ridged bakery style cookie. And these will go in a 350 oven for 9 to 11 minutes, and then just rotate the pans halfway through. You want the edges to be set, the centers to be slightly underbaked, and then when they come out of the oven, I recommend leaving them on the baking sheets for about 10 to 15 minutes before transferring them to a wire rack. Okay, I have been waiting to try these cookies. I mean, you can't miss the chip. They are full of gooey chocolate. They taste just like old-fashioned cookies. You can really not go wrong with them. So obviously you could doctor up these cookies any way you'd like. You could add chopped nuts to it. You can make a white chocolate macadamia version. You could do milk chocolate. You could add chopped Reese's Pieces or candy bars in there would be awesome. I made these cookies the other day for my kids, and they said, and I didn't even have to make them say this, they said, I like these cookies better than regular chocolate chip cookies. So there you go. You can find the full printable recipe on mamagourmand.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.